to The Climb. Today I have Jacob Pingle and Simone Richardson in the studio with me, and we are going to talk about the redesigned compass. Welcome.
Thanks, Holly.
Thanks. It's exciting to be on our first, at least I know it's my first appearance on The Climb.
High five me now.
Yeah. All right. So, can you tell me a little bit about the thought process behind redesigning the compass?
One of the things that we've thought about, the WHHW model has now been around for a while. And oftentimes when you get something that you've used, you get into the beginning phases of really learning about it and getting yourself understanding of it and grounding yourself with it. And then you kind of plateau. And then it's like, yep, I know what it is. I know how to use it. And it's just there.
And then you get COVID thrown in the middle.
Then you get COVID thrown in, which is, it's made a big shift in our population. So there is a large contingency of teachers who still need to get grounded and need to learn more. It's something we're always going to have to teach and help people learn the WHHW model. However, for those of us who have been around for a while, now that you know it, what's it going to take to get us to the next level with the WHHW model? And so that was kind of our focus when we redesigned the compass itself. The mindset was, how can we redesign the compass in a way that it's going to help us take the WHHW learning model beyond just knowing it to how can we best apply it to what it is that we're doing.
Okay.
And that was kind of the driving force behind the redesign itself. We felt like if that was where we were going to go, we wanted to present kind of a new message that refocused the attention on that.
Awesome. So tell me what some of the major changes were.
Some of the major changes included simplifying the first initial compass itself. It had gotten so busy on the right-hand side when you were looking at it, and it was really light on the left-hand side, and we felt like we needed to balance it better, because really when you think of the compass, it all works together, and you don't want to get stuck on it anywhere, and we did.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make this a nice flow that we can continue to work around. And then we relocated some of the concepts. An example would be pre-assessment. We took that off of the last cycle on the compass and moved it over to the first, because that is one of the first things you do.
Right, and it felt like we were never getting to that.
Correct, exactly. So really the long of it, or the short of it, would be that we're trying to make it more usable as a whole teaching and learning cycle.
Awesome. So what is the goal of this? And I actually think that you touched on this already. What's the goal of the redesign? Why can't we just use it the way it was? Because WHHW isn't going away, right?
It's not going away. No.
Our hope is that we can model kind of some of what we expect out of our students. One of the hopes we have for our students is that they become, after they spend time with us, they become lifelong learners. They have a yearning to learn, and they want to, beyond just, please the teacher and get through the class or get through this year and get to the next year. We want them to hopefully have a desire and a joy in this yearning to want to continue to learn. With new faces, it seemed like what a great opportunity to maybe model some of what we hope in our students, and let's reinvigorate a learning about the WHHW model. Not just learning about it, but how we apply it and how we use it so that we can improve our craft as educators.
Okay.
It's about refinement. And just like we refine our practices in the classroom, as we learn more and get better at them, we move to new stages of learning, and that's exactly what's happened with our WHHW teaching and learning cycle too.
Yeah, and you were talking about balance, and not only visually is it more balanced, but when you moved some of the things to the different places, it feels, I think, a little more balanced as far as getting to everything.
Well, and what's been interesting over the years is how we've learned the importance of, for instance, the center compass of the compass. We've learned some of the importance for the need to focus on engagement and focus on culture and climate. And that hasn't always been true. So now we have a place where we can put the things that we're doing in the schools as it relates to the work that's being done across the district through that WHHW compass.
Awesome.
It felt like our message wasn't getting across. And what is that message? That message is that there is a cycle of resources that can help and improve the impact that you are making with your students, and that is the WHHW cycle. And if you use the supporting elements on the outside, along with keeping the focus, like Simone was talking about, on those elements that are on the center compass, you are going to be able to make an even more, and a stronger positive impact on the kids and on their learning.
All right. So now that we have this redesigned compass and that we've seen it, how do teachers access it and their coaches?
Well, Holly, I'm going to shoot that question back to you.
That's right.
Because right now you and Kevin have that control.
Yes, so we have redesigned the resource bank as well. And the compass graphic is the main page of the resource bank. And then there are all kinds of hyperlinks to access those other pieces that kind of used to be on the main part of the compass. They're still there. They didn't go away. They're just clickable now, and you can access them once you click. So
Yes, and I think our school district needs to know that you and Kevin really have played just as much a role in the thinking behind this as Jacob and I have.
Yeah.
So
Thank
thank you very much for
That's
that.
right.
But we have that initial compass that you see when you go to the resource bank, and then there's the expanded version, which is what you're talking about. As you click on the links in the initial compass, you can get to those expanded versions.
okay.
And one of the visionary pieces that we have is we want to make all of that content more accessible and usable. If you want to make it more accessible, one of the goals, one of the visions that we have moving forward is to be able to access the content knowledge that our staff already has, right? We have so many people that have spent a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of effort to learn about different elements, and buildings or individual teachers are learning all of this wonderful resource content that could be valuable to other teachers, new to our district or just in our district that just haven't had the same focus. And how do we make that more accessible? And so, part of our vision is to really work with people who have that content knowledge, and how do we repurpose it so that it is now accessible to, to their colleagues district-wide.
I'll summarize, Jacob.
Okay.
Basically, we don't want to build that bank that you're storing on the resource bank.
Yes.
We want you
Yes.
to build that bank that will be stored on the resource bank.
But we are here to help facilitate that work,
for
and
sure.
so we don't want it to be dependent all on the teachers, right? We part of what we want to do is use our expertise, and in particular, again, going back to what Simone was saying, Kevin and Holly this is their wheelhouse of how do we work and how do we partner with teachers, make that accessible and usable to other teachers, not just to the students within their class. And how do we get that message out without having to send a teacher to every school to go do a PD, right?
Because they don't really get to do that.
That's
very
right.
often,
There's-
right? They're
that's
kind of
right.
stuck in their little box.
I totally get that. There's plenty to do without having to go visit every 10 schools and share what you learned or share what you know. And
Okay, so if you have great content happening in your school, reach out to one of us or Kevin, who is not here, to share that content so that we can get it put on the resource bank so other teachers can see what great things are going on. Okay, anything else that you guys want to add to that? I mean, we want to try and keep it short enough that people are going to watch the whole thing.
Are you saying Jacob talks too much, Holly?
that's right.
Teacher bingo.
That's right. So, what a good experience! It's nice to be able to share a message out to everybody, and so thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks for joining us today, and stay tuned for next week's episode of The Climb.
Bye.